Hi there. On weekends, we do reruns so that yours truly can take a couple days off. Look for a fresh new episode on Monday. Meanwhile, please enjoy this episode for this day from a previous year. I thank you so much for your indulgence and loyalty, and have a great weekend. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for June 22nd. June 22nd is the 173rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 174th in leap years, with 192 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is empirical. Empirical is an adjective that means based on or concerned with or verifiable by observation, experience, or experiment rather than theory or pure logic. It's based on more real-world information. Observation rather than theory. Verifiable or provable by means of observation or experience. The word empiric has roots in Latin and Greek, most likely came into use around the 1560s. Empirical. Now I want to say a quick happy birthday to my sister Kathy. I'm just enough older than she to remember the day she was born. Happy birthday, sis. And with that, well, we've talked about Galileo before. He was an Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer who lived from the mid-1500s to mid-1600s. He's been called the father of observational astronomy, and the father of modern physics, and the father of the scientific method. A real empirical scientist, Galileo. He noted that Copernicus's idea that the Earth rotates around the sun rather than the Earth being the center of the universe. He observed that this idea made sense according to what he had actually observed. And his own observations certainly confirmed these concepts. Unfortunately, heliocentrism, or the idea that the sun is the center of things rather than Earth, was not well received by the Catholic Church of that time. This led to investigation by the Roman Inquisition, who determined that such ideas were heretical. To make matters worse, Galileo's attempts to defend himself were seen as an attack on the Pope. He was further tried, and on June 22nd, 1633, the Holy Office at Rome forced Galileo Galilei to recant his view that the sun, not the earth, is the center of the universe. He was simply reporting not only what he'd read of Copernicus, but also what he had empirically observed. Galileo was forced to recant his views and spent the rest of his life under house arrest. I guess that's better than prison or execution. And I'm glad that we know that the earth revolves around the sun rather than vice versa. The United States Department of Justice was created by the U.S. Congress on June 22, 1870. The Pledge of Allegiance was formally adopted by the U.S. Congress on June 22, 1942. On June 22, 1969, the Cuyahoga River caught fire in Cleveland, Ohio. Yikes. This event brought attention to the issue of water pollution, ultimately leading to the Clean Water Act and the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency. On June 22, 1978, the first of Pluto's satellites to be discovered was first seen at the United States Naval Observatory by James W. Christie. The celestial body was named Charon, Charon. I've heard people call it Charon. I've also heard them call it Charon. In case you didn't know, astronomical bodies, at least in this solar system, are named after mythological characters from cultures across Earth and time. Charon was the mythological ferryman of Hades. That means he was a guy who operated the boat that went across the Styx River. He carried the souls of the newly departed across the river Styx from the world of the living to the world of the dead.
In that dark vein, and completely coincidentally, today's song is Painted Black by the Rolling Stones. This song features lyrics of grief and loss and is evocative of Middle Eastern and Indian influence with the drum and sitar work. Interesting to note that at the time, some critics thought the Rolling Stones using sitar were trying to copy the Beatles. Of course, that's ridiculous. And since then, Painted Black has been viewed more favorably from a critical standpoint, such that the Rolling Stone magazine has ranked it one of the greatest songs of all time. Painted Black spent 11 weeks, including 2 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 list, and is our #1 song for this day, June 22nd, 1966. Of course, there's a link in the description if you'd like to listen to it. Painted Black.
And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include the link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Shoot. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.